Hey, it's been a minute, but I'm back, and Drake is also back too. He has given us not just one, not just two, but three new albums this year, and we've had around 2 months or so now to sit with them and digest them. And so I figured, what better time than now to go through Mr. Aubrey Graham's discography and rank each of his projects. I will be starting with So Far Gone and go all the way up until Iceman. Shout out to his older mixtapes like Room for Improvement and Comeback Season, but I'm not gonna be covering them. I'm just gonna be doing what is on streaming services right now. If you want to know my credentials, I was a top 0.07% listener of Drake last year. I think around 12,000 minutes, and 3 of my top 5 most listened to songs were by Drake. So I'm pretty qualified to speak on this. Let me know your thoughts down below, what you think of each album, what your favorite is, least favorite, how wrong I am or how right I am, really, because I think this is a correct list, and I feel very confident. Like I said, with all that out the way, let's just get into the list. And starting in dead last place, the worst Drake project, Honestly Nevermind. I know that there is a cult following within the Drake fan base for this album, and I respect it, but this album sucks, respectfully. This is the only Drake album I would say is like straight up bad. It has grown on me a little bit. There are songs like A Keeper and Text Go Green that I'm like, okay, I can get into those songs, I can vibe with them a little bit. But all in all, my favorite 2 songs from this album are Sticky and Jimmy Cooks, the 2 rap songs. And even then, I do like those songs, don't get me wrong. I just think Drake has done those songs, especially the 21 Savage song, so much better. And the fact that those are the best songs of the album is not a good sign. I really don't ever go back to this album. Again, I'll only pick out like my favorites, and it's like 3 or 4 songs. This album is just really disappointing. I remember the night it dropped, and I was just like, what the hell is this? It has grown to me on a little bit. I don't hate it as much as I used to, but I still think this album sucks. People defend it, saying that, people just hate on this album because Drake was, doing something new, and people hate to hear new stuff. They just want to hear Drake, do the same thing over and over again. And I respect that because a lot of people do think that way. I think it's cool. I respect Drake for trying something new, taking an artistic risk. We like to see that out of artists. I just think it didn't land very well here. Just because you try something new doesn't automatically make it good, and I sadly think that's the case here. Number 18, I have Maid of Honor. Maid of Honor is cool. Definitely the weakest of the 3 new albums that Drake dropped this year. But there are some bangers. Like, I think the best songs on this album are the first 2, Hoe Phase and then Road Trips. Oh my god, especially Road Trips, such a banger. So it's a fun album. It's not too long, right? It is pretty short. It's like 45 minutes. It doesn't overstay its welcome. But all in all, it's just pretty weak. Like with Honestly Nevermind is a house album. This is like kind of a club dance album, which if that's your thing, go for it. Just not my favorite type of music. It has its place, but the novelty kind of wears off, and all in all, just not the biggest fan of this project. Coming in at number 17 now, I got Dark Lane demo tapes. This used to be, I was going back and forth between this and Maid of Honor, but I definitely think Dark Lane demo tapes is better. It's grown on me a little bit. I used to not like it as much. You'll find that's a common theme with a lot of these albums. Not every one of them, but a lot of these albums tend to grow on me. And with Dark Lane demo tapes, there are some songs that I heard at first that I didn't really like D4L and Landed, and especially From Florida with Love. I love that song now. It's actually one of the best songs on the album. But there's still some great songs. Obviously, Deep Pockets, Time Flies, Chicago Freestyle, even Tootsie Slide. Like, that song was so overplayed when it came out, but it is a good song, and I like it. It's catchy. But Dark Lane demo tapes definitely feels like a mixtape. It feels unfinished. There's just kind of a lot of different styles going on here, and I don't think Drake really does any one of them like super well. Like, there's some rapping, but it's not his best rapping. There's some singing, but it's not his best singing. There's some melodies and pop songs, not his best melodies and pop songs. So there's some trap, style songs with Future and Young Thug, not his best type, style of songs. So all in all, it's okay, not terrible, just kind of underwhelming, not very noteworthy in his discography, in my opinion. Coming in at number 16 now, I got Some Sexy Songs for You with PND. This one, probably one of the Drake albums that has grown on me the most. I still don't love it. I still think it's solid. Like I would give it like a 5 out of 10. I think it's a solid album. Um, but all in all, like it does what it does, and like the songs that I really love, like Nokia. I mean, Nokia is a banger, but Raining in Houston, Somebody Loves Me, Something About You, CN Tower, Greedy, like these songs are perfect, just late night drive songs, you know, maybe a little rain, like, you know what I mean, that type of vibe, and it's done well here. But I think ultimately where this album falls short for me personally is the fact I don't love P&D. I'm sorry. Again, I know there's a subsection of Drake fans, and obviously P&D has his own fan base. He's a big artist, right? But there's a lot of Drake fans who love the Drake and P&D collabs, and I'm just not one of them. I think P&D is one of my least favorite artists Drake consistently collabs with. And it's not that he's a bad artist. I don't know. He's never stood out to me personally, and I feel like a lot of my least favorite songs on this album tend to just come from the fact that I don't love P&D, and I don't love what he's doing on most of this album. Drake isn't perfect either, but I think Drake carries this album for me, in my opinion. Coming in at number 15 now, I got Habibti, the second project Drake dropped on, what was it, May 15th or whatever. This one pleasantly surprised me. I wouldn't say it has grown on me like the others. I feel pretty solid about this album. It's like 6 out of 10, I would say. But it's a good little R&B album. It's only a little over half an hour long, but like with Maid of Honor, I think the two best songs, or my two favorites on this album, are the first two songs. WNBA, well, rusty intro, but I'm not kind of that. WNBA and Slap the City especially. I don't know, maybe I'm tweaking. I love that song. I think that is one of Drake's best R&B songs he's made in a minute. It's just something about Quendressa, I believe, on that song, and then the way Drake comes in, and the sample of his own song, Show Me a Good Time, a song that I love, sampling that, oh, just perfect. I love the flow on it. But this album isn't perfect. It's okay. It's Habibti. I think you know what you're getting out of this album. Some solid R&B Drake songs. I like Fort Worth on the back half with P&D, though. That's actually a rare exception. I think P&D does really well on that song. But all in all, I like Habibti. Cool R&B album. I think it's a little better than Some Sexy Songs for You. It doesn't overstay its welcome. And less P&D is usually better, in my opinion. Coming in at number 14 now, I got More Life. More Life. This is a Drake album that has definitely grown off me a little bit. I think I used to like this album more, but the more I've gone back to this album, the more I realize I really only pick out my favorite songs. And don't get me wrong, the songs that are good on this album are pretty good. Do Not Disturb, that's a classic. Portland, banger. What's it called? Tweaking now on the name. Can't Have Everything, banger. Lose You is one of my favorite deep cuts in Drake's discography. Passion Fruit, obviously, Fake Love, Teenage Fever. Like, there are some great songs and variety, you know, on this album. But there's just, like, so many songs that I just forget, and I go back and I'm like, yeah, this is boring, or this is so forgettable. And, like, the songs with Gigs, for example, like KMT, or No Long Talk, Blam, even the Kanye song Glow, and I think a lot of people agree that song's disappointing, but just More Life, just Drake was obviously doing a lot of things with this, you know, this project, right? It's not really a full album, it's a playlist, but I don't love it as much as his other projects. Again, there's some great songs, but I think there's 22 songs on this album. Definitely overstays its welcome. This is definitely a prime case of Drake padding too many songs on a project. He could trim a lot of the fat off this one, but I think the biggest pitfall for this album, and I know I'm talking so negative, but these are like just my biggest complaints on why this album ranks lower than maybe other people would have it, is that I just don't love like the Jamaican and the UK thing that Drake does here, the patois, you know, or the UK drill. Like, I just don't love. That's like my least favorite thing Drake does, and it's on a lot of this album, so that unfortunately brings it down, but it's not bad. Solid project. Coming in at number 13 now, I have For All the Dogs, and this is including the Scary Hours 3, which bumps it up a little bit. For All the Dogs, I was going through, and originally I had this higher on my list, but as I went back, I realized this album has too many songs also. When you include the Scary Hours 3 does bump it up, but when you include the Scary Hours 3, I think this song has 27 or 28 songs, and then it has like 23 without the Scary Hours 3 Deluxe. this album has way too many songs. There are some fantastic songs, don't get me wrong. 8 a.m. in Charlotte, Tried Our Best, Drew a Picasso, and then on the deluxe, Stories About My Brother. The Shoe Fits is such an underrated song, I feel like. I love Drake's pettiness on that song. There's some great songs on here. Away From Home, that's one of my favorite Drake songs. Like, that's, I don't know, something about that song. I love the flow. That's my favorite off this project. But there's just so many forgettable songs on here. And again, it's like More Life, where I go through and I'm like, wow, yeah, I really just don't like to listen to this project in full. I'll just pick out my favorites and go back to those. So that's why this ends up a little lower on the list than I originally thought. But cool album nonetheless. Coming in at number 12 now. I think this is probably going to be my most controversial placement. I have Views. I understand many people, especially a lot of Drake fans, view this as a classic Drake album. Top 5 easily. I'm sorry, I don't see it that way. It's good, don't get me wrong. Views is a good album. I'd give it like a light 7 out of 10. I think Views is a good album. It has grown on me a little bit. I used to actually hate this album more. My biggest problem with Views is I like track to track, I just don't see it. I don't know. Maybe I'm tweaking. Maybe I'm crazy. I just don't see what everyone sees with this album, where they're just, oh, this is a top 5 Drake album. This is a classic. It's good, don't get me wrong. Feel No Ways, that's in my top 10 Drake songs. Fire and Desire, beautiful. I love that song. Western Road Flows, Keep the Family Close, 9, Still Here. Like, there's great songs, don't get me wrong. I just think most of those don't hold up to like the top of Drake's discography, in my opinion. And then there's a lot of songs here that just, I'm sorry, they've never grown on me. One Dance, I'll say it, I think that's one of Drake's worst hit songs. It's not bad. Part of it is it's so overplayed, but I've just never loved One Dance. I always thought it was very generic and very forgettable and boring. And I'd never understood why that was like the hit. Like, I get it's catchy, you know, but I never understood why that was the hit song from this album. Controlla, that song annoys me, genuinely. Faithful is, I think, Drake's worst song, maybe ever. Like, that song is terrible. I'm sorry, I can't listen to that song. So with Views, like, there's just songs that I just don't go back to, and I'll say Views definitely gets above a lot of these other albums that are below it, because I can actually go through and listen to Views entirely, even if there are a couple skips. But all in all, Views, not a bad album. I think it starts strong, gets a little iffy in the middle, and then I think it ends really strong. I do love Hotline Bling, so I don't know, maybe I'm crazy. I don't like One Dance, but I like Hotline Bling. But all in all, Views ranks at number 12. Good album, right? Like, this is Drake. We're starting, like, all these albums from here on out are good. Like, these are good albums. I like to go back to them and listen through the majority of it. But Drake just has so many great albums that it ends up here, and I think it's a little overrated. Coming in at number 11 now, we have What a Time to Be Alive, his collab with Future. Good album. I think my analysis is going to be pretty, my review here is going to be pretty brief. What a Time to Be Alive, good album. I like Future, I like Drake, sound good together. In all honesty, I think this album might be like the only Drake album that is a little too short. I would like this to be a little longer. I think it's fine, doesn't overstay its welcome, right? You could put it on, banger, like 40-minute, project. But man, I would have liked a little bit more. I think Drake and Future, this was kind of like the peak of their powers, and it sounds good. I think it could have been maybe a little better. I don't know, but it's a good album. Not much else to say about it. Favorite songs off this are, 30 for 30 freestyle, but that's just a great Drake rapping performance. But Digital Dash, Jumpman, Diamonds Dancing, Live from the Gutter, Plastic Bag, like, these are all great songs. Coming in at number 10 now, getting into the top 10. At number 10, I have Scorpion. Talk about an album that has grown on me. If I were to make this list about a year ago, Scorpion would absolutely land like below Views, below For All the Dogs, below More Life. Like, Scorpion I thought was very like disappointing. But going back and really listening through, and I guess I've always liked the first disc of Scorpion, the rapping disc. Like, I always thought that was super solid, and I thought if that was just a project by itself, that would be like a top tier Drake project. But going back, disc 2 has grown on me a lot. Now, I will say, I still do not like the last 3 songs on disc 2. So like After Dark, Final Fantasy, and I guess March 14th is cool, but After Dark and Final Fantasy especially, oh my god, I hate those songs. Those songs are actually terrible. But outside of that, man, there are some great songs. Jaded, I don't know why I used to not like Jaded. If you look back on my ranking every Drake song video, I had Jaded. I'm sorry, I apologize for that, by the way. I guess I'll make a note here. I will be making another video ranking every Drake song. Just takes a long time, especially since we got 43 new songs this year, but I will be remaking that video in the future. Jaded, I'm sorry guys, I had Jaded way too low. I was tweaking. Okay, a lot of my opinions on that video have already changed, but Jaded, Summer Games, that song is so great. Even Finesse is good. Like Blue Tint, like there's a lot of good songs on this too. In My Feelings, obviously Nice for What, I've always loved, but yeah, man, Scorpion I think is actually underrated now. I think Scorpion is a little bit underrated. Obviously you had the three huge hits on this album: God's Plan, In My Feelings, and Nice for What. But man, yeah, this was just like, and maybe a little bit of nostalgia here, because this was like the first Drake album that I like remember coming out. For reference, I am 19, so when this came out in 2018, I was like 11. I was in like 5th grade. It's crazy. I know. I'm unk maybe. But I remember this coming out, just the nostalgia I have for this, and just going back to Scorpion. I appreciate this album as time has gone on. Coming in at number 9 now, I have So Far Gone. Drizzy Drake's breakout mixtape. I mean, it's a classic. What can I say? So Far Gone's a classic. It holds up so well, I think. I mean, Best I Ever Had, I still think is one of Drake's best songs ever. I think that's probably in my top 5 Drake songs still of all time. I absolutely love that song. It's just so good. But there's so many great songs on this. Say What's Real, Lust for Life, Houston, Atlanta, Vegas, Ignorant Shit with Lil Wayne, The Calm. The Calm was my most listened to song last year. I don't know how, but I do like that song. Yeah, So Far Gone, man, it holds up really well, I think this project, it definitely has that like raw early Drake sound, but that's what makes it so charming. You know, you hear that young Drake, how hungry he is. You know, his voice isn't fully there yet, right? And it just has so much like clear passion behind it, the honesty, the vulnerability, the clear like desire for wanting more and being the biggest in the game. And you know, obviously he got there. Yeah, man, So Far Gone, charming project. I really, really do like it. Just held back by a couple songs like Unstoppable. That song is terrible, to be honest. And then just a couple like other forgettable songs. I don't love the 2 like bonus songs, Brand New and Congratulations. Those are whatever in my opinion. But all in all, So Far Gone, Drake's first project, pretty good one. Coming in at number 8 now, I have Iceman. Good album. I don't understand the discourse around this album. I hear some people, I guess not too many people, I've heard a lot of people just straight up hate on this album and say this album's terrible. Drake has completely fallen off. I don't know. Obviously, I'm a Drake fan, but this is a good album, man. Good album. I think it delivered. Maybe not quite exactly as good as I was hoping. I mean, the rollout and the hype for this album was pretty crazy. And the fact that he released 2 other albums with it, you know, kind of makes it interesting. But I think Iceman is good. I really do like Iceman. The Janice STFU song that went number 1. I think that is one of the best. Too Hard for the Radio, I really love. Make Them Cry, the intro. Oh my God. When I heard that intro, I'm like, this is phenomenal. I think that is one of Drake's best intros in a while. I love that song. I think all the Make Thems are pretty good. I think Don't Worry is a song that not a lot of people are talking about, and I think it's kind of viewed as one of the lesser songs in general, but I love that song. I don't know why. I think it's so catchy, but yeah, Iceman, full of good songs. Obviously a little bit, some duds on there that I don't really love, like Little Birdie or Bees on the Table. Don't get me wrong, Ran to Atlanta, I like that song. It's a banger, but I think that's one of the weaker songs on the album, in my opinion. But all in all, Iceman, strong return, you know, a lot of rapping, a lot of, you know, catchy songs. Not much else to say. I like Iceman. Coming in at number 7 now, I have Her Loss, the collab album with 21 Savage. So glad he released this right after Honestly Nevermind in the same year, because this album's a banger. I'm sorry. This album is straight heat. Like, Middle of the Ocean, fire. Hours in Silence, banger. More M's, banger. Rich Flex, banger. Major Distribution, banger. On BS, banger. Spin About You, bang. Like, they're like, and Drake and 21's chemistry on this album is just phenomenal. Like, genuinely, they just, like when I first heard it, I'm like, wait a minute, this is just nice. Like Drake and 21, I think this is Drake's best collab album, hands down. Like him and 21 have so much chemistry. The way he's able to bring out like these melodic performances from 21, and then Drake can really get into that like murder rap, trap, banger bag. Like, sorry if that sounded great. Like the way he can get into that bag, and they just bring out the best out of each other and bring out new sounds out of each other. It worked really well. It worked really well on this album, in my opinion. And yeah, I like Her Loss. I think this album is really, really good. I would give this like a light 8 out of 10. I think this album is really strong and consistent. I go back to it like a lot. I really do. Like, it shocked me how high I put this. I didn't expect to put this, put Her Loss this high on my list. But I really do love this project. It's even better than like I remember going back to it. So shout out Her Loss. Coming in at number 6 now, I have Certified Lover Boy. This is the Drake album that has grown on me the most. Now, to be fair, when this album was coming out, I remember it very vividly. In 2021, I was like 13. I was like 14 years old. And obviously Drake had his whole beef with Kanye at the time, right? And Donda was coming out, and I liked Drake at the time, but I was definitely like, I was a Kanye fanboy, okay? I was a Kanye fanboy, and so if you just had to be there. You just had to be there to understand. If you were on Drake's side, you were just going to ride CLB no matter what, and if you were on Kanye's side, you were going to ride Donda no matter what, and I rode Donda. I still think Donda's a good album, by the way, but man, like, even then, like, even when Certified Lover Boy came out, I think a lot of people generally were disappointed. I mean, the album cover didn't help. That album cover is still a little rough. But man, like over the years, this is a classic Drake project, in my opinion. He really delivered here. Certified Lover Boy is great, man. Champagne Poetry, that's an all-time Drake intro. The Remorse, I think, is a super, super underrated Drake cut. The Remorse is such a great outro, in my opinion. Effing Fans, Get Along Better, Race My Mind, 7 a.m. on Bridal Path, You Only Live Twice, TSU, Pipe Down, In Too Deep. Like, I could go on and on. This album, start to finish, very consistent. Not like maybe 3 skips in total. Just super solid. I have this album on vinyl now to bootleg, obviously, but yeah, man, like Certified Lover Boy's grown on me so much. I like originally when this album came out, I thought it was like a 5 out of 10, right? I thought it was mid, and now 5 years later almost, I think it's like an 8 out of 10. This is a great project. Coming into the top 5 now, at number 5, I have Thank Me Later. Thank Me Later, I've always had a special place in my heart for this album. Man, I don't know how else to say it, but Thank Me Later just takes like what Drake was doing on So Far Gone and just cranks it up to like 10. Like, man, Thank Me Later is such a banger album. This is like a go-to album for me when I just want to be in a good mood. I mean, and there's some, don't get me wrong, there's still some introspective, like, more melancholic songs on here, like The Resistance. I mean, that just gets you thinking, right? The Resistance, Fireworks, even a song like Karaoke. Like, these are just like nice, soothing, calm songs. But then you have bangers like Fancy, the switch up on Fancy too. Ooh. Miss Me, Over, Show Me a Good Time, Shut It Down. Even Find Your Love. Find Your Love, I'm pretty sure is the first Drake song I ever heard, and I just loved it. I just remember, like, I was a little kid hearing that on the radio, like, I'm like, it's stuck with me. Like, it's just so catchy. But yeah, man, Thank Me Later, I think start to finish, super, super good. Oh, how could I forget Unforgettable? That Drake verse on Unforgettable, amazing. So yeah, all in all, Thank Me Later, super strong project. Obviously, technically his debut album. And I think Thank Me Later gets a little overshadowed because it's sandwiched in between So Far Gone, which, Drake's big breakout project. So Best I Ever Had is on it, right? And then it's also comes before Take Care, right? And everyone knows where Take Care is, and you'll see where it lands on my list. But it's sandwiched in between these two albums, and it's unfortunate because I think it's really, really good. Super strong debut album, in my opinion, and lands at number 5 on my list. Coming in at number 4 now, I have Care Package. Now, Care Package, I was debating on even putting on this list because Care Package it's technically a project, right? He released it in 2019. But Care Package is obviously, it's no new songs, right? Like, they're all songs that had already existed from, like, I think 2010 to like 2016, and they're songs that had been around, like 5 a.m. in Toronto, 4 p.m. in Calabasas, Trust Issues, Free Spirit, Club Paradise, right? Like, these songs had already existed, been around, played on the radio. They just were never officially on a project or streaming services. And so, obviously it's a Care Package, right? You put them all in one place. But I'm sorry, there are way too many classic Drake songs on this project for me to leave it off. Like, Dreams Money Can Buy, Days in the East, The Motion, Free Spirit, Club Paradise, Jodeci Freestyle, Girls Love Beyonce, like Paris Morton Music, 5 a.m. in Toronto. Did I say 5 a.m. in Toronto? Like, there are so many amazing songs back to back to back on this project. Like, I can't leave it off. And it feels like cheating because it's just a bunch of good, like, Drake Lucy's, right? Like, just, Drake songs that have been around, and you just put them all in one project. So the one thing that does hold it back is, like, it's not really cohesive, right? It's just a bunch of, songs that have been around from different eras of Drake, but it sounds good, man. All the songs are really good. And all in all, I did Atlanta on the list. I'm sorry, shoot me, arrest me if you disagree, but I think Care Package is really good. Coming in to the top 3 now. At number 3, I have If You're Reading This, It's Too Late. What can I say? If You're Reading This, It's Too Late. I think unanimously agreed upon top 5, top 3 Drake album. For a reason, this album is amazing, like, start to finish. You start with Legend all the way up until 6 p.m. in New York, which 6 p.m. in New York, I think, is Drake's best timestamp song, in my opinion. Jungle, and that's what's so crazy about this album too. If You're Reading This, It's Too Late is like Drake's hardest, most focused rapping performance. And then, just, out of nowhere, the second to last song, he has Jungle, his best R&B song, his best singing performance, like, ever, in my opinion. Just thrown on the album like it's nothing. Like, just crazy. Like, Drake was just in his bag with this. Yeah, I mean, what else can I say about this album that hasn't been said? It's If You're Reading This, It's Too Late. Even Drake's biggest haters, like, can admit that this is usually the project that people admit, okay, like, this project's good, It's great. It really is great. So, lands at number 3 on my list. Coming in at number 2 now, I have Nothing Was the Same. Man, these are classic albums, man. These are classic albums. It's like so neck and neck between them. It's so hard, but if I had to pick, I'd pick Nothing Was the Same slightly over. Tuscan Leather, what an intro. Furthest Thing, my favorite song off this thing. So good. Wu-Tang Forever, Worst Behavior, From Time, Too Much, Pound Cake, Come Through. Like, I could go on and on, right? Own It, Connect. The Language, I think The Language is hard. I love that song. I think it's underrated. Yeah, start to finish, Nothing Was the Same. It's just so good. I love just, like, the concept of, like, how this album can be played backwards. You start from Pound Cake and end with Tuscan Leather, and, like, it works as an album that way too. I think that's so clever. Even the covers too of, like, the regular album and then the deluxe with the 2 extra songs, how the regular album cover is just Drake as a baby looking forward into the future, and then the deluxe is Drake as an adult looking back into the past. Like, love it. It matches the theme and, the rollout of this, the title, Nothing Was the Same. Like, this really feels like the album that cemented Drake as the biggest in the game, as the superstar, right, of hip-hop. And it's a classic. The only thing that holds this album back, in my opinion, from being a 10 out of 10 is the song 305 to My City. I'm sorry, I don't like that song. That's one of my least favorite Drake songs. It's just, man, like, if that song wasn't on this project, I think it would be a 10 out of 10, straight up. Like, that's the only song I skip. But because of 305 to My City, it just slightly holds it back, and I can't quite give Nothing Was the Same a 10. But, man, I mean, it's number 2, classic album. I go back to it all the time. Banger. Now, coming in at number 1, my favorite Drake album of all time. The best Drake album of all time. I mean, what was it going to be other than Take Care? Take Care, man. 10 out of 10. This is an album I would give a straight 10 out of 10. From Over My Dead Body all the way to The Ride or Hate Sleeping Alone. perfect, flawless album in my opinion. Um, yeah, there's not much I can say. I just like Take Care has my favorite Drake song of all time on it, Headlines. I know that's like not the most niche choice, but I'm telling you, no one loves Headlines more than me. I will die on that hill. That is, no one loves that song more than I do. Yeah, I mean, if you saw my ranking every Drake song video, you can very much get the impression that Take Care is my favorite Drake album. I think I had like 3 or maybe even 4 songs off this album in my top 10 Drake songs, and it's for a reason, man. This shit is a classic. Like, straight up, Take Care is a classic. This is an album I go back to all the time. I play my favorite songs. I can start from Over My Dead Body, play it all the way through, no skips, and love every single song. I'm like 90% sure I know this album word for word. I've heard it at least 8 times, like in its entirety, 8 times through, like, minimum. I love this album. It's so good. One of my favorite albums ever. Yeah, it lands at number 1. I think it's Drake's best project. His most cohesive, his best rapping, his best singing, songwriting. Like, you could get songs like Hell Yeah Fucking Right or Headlines, right? Straight bangers. Lord knows you could get some introspective rapping like The Ride, or, Marvin's Room, right? More sad R&B songs like Doing It Wrong or Shot For Me or Over My Dead Body. That's an introspective rapping song. Or you could get, some bangers like Make Me Proud or We'll Be Fine. Just straight, like, Take Care, like pop bangers you could, play on the aux. Or, you can even get songs like Hate Sleeping Alone. That's like a late night vibe, Look What You've Done. That's one of Drake's most personal, heartfelt songs ever. Like, I could go on and break down every song on this album. I love Take Care. I think it's Drake's best project, and it lands at number 1 on my list. So there you go. There you have it. That's every Drake project rank from worst to best, in my opinion. Let me know what y'all think. What is your favorite project? What's your least favorite? And what you think of my list. I will say it is tough. It's very tough, especially I would say like that 16 to like 9 range. A lot of those albums are very interchangeable, so just keep that in mind. But I would say like 8 onwards is very set in stone. Like, that's probably not gonna change, and if it is, it'll be a slight, but it is tough. It's tough. Drake has a lot of great projects, and this is just, how it shapes up, in my opinion. Thank y'all for watching. You know what I'm saying? Subscribe, like, all those things, and take care.